Welcome, chode smokers, to TP For Your Earholes. My name is Charlene Schmidt, and with me is...
Patrick Schmidt. That's me.
My co-host. Hooray! And today, we are talking about the second half of Season 3 of Mike Judge's Beavis and Butt-head, the latest reboot, where we're going to go through all of our favorite moments, our least favorite moments, some stuff that really made us laugh out loud, and everything in between. But before we get to that, let's do the housekeeping. Patrick, will you tell everybody how and where they can find us?
I hope they know by now, but...
We gotta do it every episode, man.
Just in case you're new here, Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, at TP For Your Earholes on all of those platforms. Please follow, please reach out, keep up with us. Whenever the latest episode drops, you'll be the first to know. Also, you can follow us on YouTube at TP For Your Earholes and keep up with us that way too. TPForYourEarholes.com is where you can find our contact form to be able to reach out to us directly. And it's also where we have all of our archives of all of our previous episodes, including show notes and links and all the other cool things that go along with every single episode. If you're only listening, you may not be getting the full experience.
Indeed, indeed. And hey, while you're doing things on the internet, help us out a little bit, would you? Let people know that you love this show. And if they love Beavis and Butt-head and they're not listening yet, hey man, be a pal. You know what to do.
And one of the best ways to be a pal is to tell people on the platform that you're listening on that we're halfway decent. So give us one of those good reviews. We just know there's more people out there like us and like you, and we want them to be a part of the fun too.
Yeah, and we appreciate all of you who have already done the thing and put us out there because honestly, we can do that to our heart's content and get so far. But what really sells something that you love is doing it yourself and sharing it with your friends, honestly. All right, now with that out of the way, I'm excited to get to this second half of the third season because there are some bangers of episodes, I feel, in this second half.
Definitely in full agreement with you. I think I might like the second half better than the first half.
Ooh.
And by the way, listeners, if you're a first-time listener, go back and listen to our last episode, which was about the first half of Season 3 of the newest reboot. We are now continuing that conversation with the last 12 episodes of the most recent season. So agree that there are some amazing things to talk about. So let's just dive in.
Yeah, and let's follow the same format as we did last episode with this 12. We're going to kick it all off with our favorite episode. So let's do this thing. What is your favorite episode of the second half?
So I think we're in agreement on this, that one of the best episodes, obviously not only of this season, but of all time, Beavis and Butt-head, might be $1 Million Reward.
Yes, this is an instant classic, in my opinion. I love it so much.
It's so good, and there were at least 10 laugh-out-loud lines for me.
Wow.
This is also one of those episodes that's never going to wear out its welcome. It's always going to be, oh yeah, let's watch that one. It's always going to bring a smile. And it's, I think, a really good mix of really clever writing and a whole lot of stupidity.
And it's a winning combination for sure. There is something about putting Beavis and Butt-head in a courtroom that really works, for old Beavis and Butt-head especially.
Yeah.
Because, what was it, first or second season where we get two stupid men and they're on the jury?
Right.
Manslaughter! It's one of the most memorable lines. And again, that's a whole thing where it's a really solid, good episode, and it's just all about how goddamn stupid these guys are. But that's what's so great.
And this episode had a twist at the end, and Beavis and Butt-head in and of itself is not really good at twists.
No?
Not really good at unexpected endings, and that's okay. This is not what the show's built for. But this episode had that, and I really appreciated it. It broke it up for me, and I was caught by surprise by a Beavis and Butt-head episode, and that was a really cool feeling.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
Now, I do have to mention that Old Holio is definitely a top contender as a favorite, and probably is going to go down as the fan favorite of Season 3.
Sure.
Because you can't go wrong with a good Cornholio episode. And finally, we get old Cornholio taking all the prescription drugs. And that was great.
It was. And I think that was after 3 seasons of a reboot, and this came right at the end of this season. I think it was kind of throwing a bone to the fans who were waiting for that.
Yeah, I think they knew we wanted it.
Yeah. And so thank you, writers. Thank you, producers.
Yes, yes.
For getting that together, because it was worth it in the end. It really was.
Totally was. You found a creative way to make Cornholio come all the way back again. And apparently Cornholio has been absent for a little while. There wasn't Cornholio in his 20s, 30s.
I guess. I mean, maybe this is a relapse.
I just want to know what happened after.
Yes.
Because that's got to be some severe burns. You're going to need a lot more prescription meds after that.
Yes. So speaking of severe burns,
yeah,
is there anything that we didn't like from the back half of this season?
You know what? I think the back half has the biggest peak in terms of solid episode, but also the lowest valley. For me, it's the episode Ear.
Okay, explain yourself.
So this is the one where Beavis pops off his ear by playing with Cody's rockets. And there's so much repetition. And I get it. It's because he lost an ear. And if you've been around anybody who's hard of hearing, you know you have to repeat yourself at least one time, if not more.
What?
Exactly. What? I seem to have blown my ear off. It was funny for a couple minutes, and then I just got a little tired of it. The thing is I think it's a little stupid even for Beavis and Butt-head. They know what an ear is.
Yes.
And yet Butt-head's gluing his severed ear to Beavis's forehead. Come on, no, we're not doing this. Stop it. So for me, that was the low point of the season where I just didn't care too much for that one. How about you?
Well, just like we had Keith in an earlier season, we now have new Beavis in this season. And Beavis H, I am trying to find a way to describe him without profanity, and I don't think I can.
You know, we can put the explicit tag on the show. I don't care.
Okay, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Yeah, for real, though. He sucks.
He does suck.
And you know what? He and Keith need to be friends. They would like each other.
What I'm trying to figure out is how Beavis H became popular when he was clearly an annoying kid, right? How did he fall in with the popular people? I just don't get it.
I think it says something about the popular people.
Well, this is true, too.
They have poor taste.
This is true.
They see that he's cute. Okay, give him that. But you know what? Everything else, they're going to get tired of his ass. They're going to disown him.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Or they're just as annoying as he is.
So now that we've covered our best and worst episodes, how about just some of our favorite moments? And let's make this clear. I think we both feel very strongly that we remember moments better than we remember episodes. Is that fair?
I think that's very fair because that is what we tend to quote when something really sticks and we repeat it and repeat it and repeat it.
Right. Yeah, we have some things that we quote in our house. I cannot remember what episode they're from, but we've said them 100 times to each other.
Yeah, and for years.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
At least a lot of them. Yeah.
So what are those moments for you? What are some of those moments for you?
One of the very first things I wrote down while we were going through these episodes was I simply adore the way Beavis says, "Hey, baby, what you guys doing in that house?" Where he's about to spank his monkey to a home loan brochure in depositors at the bank. That's all. Just laughter.
Anything can be dirty if you let your mind go there.
And Beavis has that capability for sure.
He's locked and loaded for it 24/7.
Yeah, so that was the very first thing I think I wrote down in my notes for this entire show was that.
And I have a line from Beavis that I really liked as well, which taps into the other thing that Beavis really, really cares about in addition to sex, which is fire.
Yes.
And the episode The Mission, where Beavis says, "I always wanted to serve my country with a flamethrower."
Of course he has. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, I want to throw fire at you, to steal a line from a now dead comedian. But yeah, that sums up Beavis in a nutshell, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved it. I love that line, serve my country with flamethrower. And now every time I see one of those military recruiting offices, that's what I'm going to think of.
Yeah, hardcore same. I'll be thinking of old Beavis and Butt-head with those bandanas. Because that was some funny shit. So
Yes.
was the addendum with Tom Anderson, and Tom just gives them a whooping on his vacation, no less,
Yes.
and tells them where to go. Beavis and Butt-head are not getting any breaks in that episode whatsoever.
You can take the man out of the military, but you can't take the military out of the man.
Not when you're Tom Anderson. No.
No.
So another thing that made me laugh was in the episode Dearly Departed, where Beavis talks about juvenile court. And he's like,
yeah.
God, how many chances do I get? I've already failed.
Stop giving me chances. Yay.
It's the reverse psychology thing, right? Where normally, yes, you would want that fighting chance if you've screwed up. But no, Beavis wants to fail. I think he wants to go to jail. At least that way he's got a roof over his head and some food in his belly.
And speaking of Beavis in court, the line in $1 Million Reward, we talked about there being a bunch of laugh out loud lines.
Yeah.
The one I think got us both the best was, my lawyer's a perv.
Pure gold, that one. Pure gold. There's something about
Yes.
the delivery of that line combined with the effect of Beavis speaking into that microphone that is so good. And I do think that is going to become somehow, we don't talk about lawyer stuff very often, but somehow we're going to make that in the rotation of our typical quotes.
Well, we do live in Southern California. There are lots of lawyer billboards around.
There sure are.
Yeah. Let's make that a thing.
Every time we see a lawyer billboard, well, there we go. That's all we got to do.
Yep. We're set.
Problem solved. Okay.
So we've talked a lot about Beavis. How about other characters and your favorite bits of dialogue from them?
Well, let's talk about Butt-head for just
Okay.
a quick moment. And there is a video commentary in the episode Get Well Soon, where this is such a signature Butt-head kind of psychology going on in this line where he says, when I see puppets, I know what comes next. They're going to try to teach me to read. I got a kick out of that one. Plus, I also have to give a mention to the whole Dr. Seuss book segment in Work From Home, where they didn't just have the video commentary where they're making up a story on the fly. No, they actually went to the effort to do a Dr. Seuss style illustrated book. Bravo, everybody. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for going the extra mile.
Oh, I love that. That was so good. Now, I do have a minor quibble
Okay.
with that sequence in that episode, which is
okay.
in that particular Dr. Seuss book, the page numbers are on the wrong side.
Oh, no, they are?
It's supposed to be even numbers on the left, odd numbers on the right, and they've got them flip-flopped.
Shit.
It hurts.
Oh, I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay. And I'm going to pretend never to see it again.
There you go. Could you just bleach that out, please?
Yeah, I'm just going to ignore the fact that I caught that.
You know, once you're a copy editor, you're always a copy editor.
This is true. This is very true.
All right. Well, how about you? Have you got any other one-liners or moments you want to mention?
So speaking of Butt-head, I have a couple moments from Butt-head that I thought were really, really genius, which is in Dearly Departed, which, by the way, I do want to give a shout out to, is maybe the darkest Beavis and Butt-head episode ever.
Might be.
Love it, because I love dark humor. My wife got me a shirt that says dark humor is my coping mechanism. That was one of my Christmas gifts.
Yep, sure did.
So it was really dark, but it was Butt-head explaining to Beavis what a ghost is. And he's like, it's like in the movies or the Bible or something. And I don't know why that hit so well for me, but it did. I loved it. And I also have a question. Because Beavis makes this joke in the original run, and then he remakes this joke in this half of the season, which is they're doing Work From Home, and Butt-head said, it doesn't get any better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that joke still hit with this generation? Do they know where that comes from?
I believe that is a question only our listeners can answer.
Yes.
So hit us up in the comments.
Please let us know if that joke makes sense, because I find it hilarious, but I'm also old now. I don't know when it happened, but at some point I went from having more years left to live to more years lived. So I'm officially old now. I don't know if that joke hits or not, but I loved it. And I loved the callback.
I also love the episode, just generally speaking, Work From Home.
Yes.
I mean, we all had some sort of experience with that in the COVID era, and I feel like this is a little bit of a I don't know, this stems from that whole experience, making it relatable, and yet we have to twist it the Beavis and Butt-head way. And I so love that they, one, kept their Burger World uniforms and put them back on.
Yes.
But then get rehired, even after looking them up, like, is there nothing in that file that says, no, never again? Apparently not. And get left to their own devices right away. Not an update on how to make anything. Just, no, go. So you know what?
Has nothing changed at Burger World in the last 30 years? Are all the cash registers still the same? Are all the menu items still the same? What's going on there?
Oh, well, they do have the nacho shake now.
Oh, they do have the nacho shake.
Oh, God.
You know what's nice about the nacho shake?
What's that?
You don't have to grill the burgers. They get cooked in the shake machine.
Apparently, which was a great quote.
Yes.
I kind of had that as an honorable mention to put out there. Yeah, they took what I thought was kind of a genius idea, which was to just basically do nachos and cheese, mix it all together, and then drink it. That doesn't disgust me too much. But then adding the raw burger, yes, of course. No, thank you.
By the way, the other thing we get from Nacho Shake, and I would feel really bad if we didn't mention this, but we get Metallica to show up in the episode.
Yes, they did. Cameo.
That was really cool. And it's hard to do cameos in Beavis and Butt-head. It just is. And this is the one they actually pulled off, which was really cool. And it gave me big Metalocalypse vibes.
Oh, definitely.
Like how the scene was shot and just all that. It definitely felt like that could have been the Metalocalypse Beavis and Butt-head crossover that we didn't know we needed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a missed opportunity that we have not ever gotten that. At least not yet.
And I know you're the credits watcher. You're the person who actually reads the credits.
I sure try to.
In this relationship and in this podcast. But I actually notice a name now, which is Chris Pranoski. And I know he was a big part of Metalocalypse, and I've seen his name in the reboot a lot. Definitely a guy I would just want to sit down and pick his brain.
That would be a lot of fun.
And I'm wondering if maybe some of that Metalocalypse influence comes from him. I think that'd be really neat to talk about.
Really good question. Okay, well, if we can find him anywhere, let's find a way to ask. So how about we move on from specific quotes to just general moments that we enjoyed in the second half here. For instance, one of my favorite videos in probably any of the reboot seasons has got to be the commentary during Your Mama. What an stupid song. What an awful song. What an awful video. But the commentary is spot on. That is what I want to see with Beavis and Butt-head.
They do a absolutely great job of skewering that video without saying a word about the video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
And they skewer Beavis at the same time, which is, always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. And we were talking about Dearly Departed just a moment ago. I love how Beavis introduces himself to gravestones, the chicks' gravestones. Because he's dead and he's thinking, hey, new dating pool, this is great. And there's one little subtle detail that had me on the floor. And that's the way he juts his hips out just a little bit while he's doing this. Like, hey, check it out, I'm ready. And that was so damn cute, I gotta admit.
I mean, he's leading with his strength.
Which isn't much, honestly.
And speaking of Beavis, there is a great little moment where he is maybe going to be a hitman, but he might have to work weekends.
Oh, right.
So he doesn't want to be a hitman. That's his hang up. That's his line that he will not cross in the sand is working weekends.
I love how that reduces the career of hitman off his list.
Yes.
That's hilarious. So, okay, a couple of other smaller moments here. The yeah, no sequence where in the Airbnb episode, like, do you see Schlong? Yeah, no. Pretty obvious what's going on there.
That was awesome.
These Poor people, what the hell? Please get your shit together and use GPS to find your Airbnb, because then if you don't, things like this happen.
Right? And I think you picked up on the detail that the car that hits Beavis in Get Well Soon is the same car from Bed and Breakfast.
It's at least like the same make and model and color. If it's not, in fact, that lady from Phoenix that hits him, yeah, totally.
I'd like to imagine it's her behind the wheel.
And maybe she did it on purpose.
Hell yeah.
And then she booked it right the hell out of there, so.
Who's the real hitman?
Her!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And I got one little thing, and it is very little detail. It's the little vessel crashing into the tail end of the multiple spaceship pileup in the moon in The Discoverers.
Oh, yeah.
Just beep, right in the butthole. So that covers my list. Does that cover your list?
I do have one small thing that I want to mention, and it's tied to an episode I was actually watching today. Our audience doesn't know this, but you know this. I am doing a full series rewatch, doing some research for an upcoming episode that I hope y'all love. It's still a little ways away, but I'm doing a full series rewatch for it. And the episode I watched today was cow tipping.
Yes.
And watching Beavis get scrunched by the cow gave me a very similar feeling to watching Beavis get trapped in the air vent this season in Dearly Departed. And I've said it on this podcast before, I'll say it again, watching either one of them get stuck is totally a personal problem for me, where if either one of them can't move, I start sweating.
Aww.
And that scene made me sweat a little bit. So, and again, it's a me problem. It's not a show problem. It's not a writer's problem. It's a me problem. And it's tapping deep into my fears, and I felt it.
Oh, no. And you experienced that today. And for the record, you guys, what this rewatch, what you're doing with it and what's going to result from it, you all are not ready for what Patrick is doing. It's going to be fantastic.
I like to think so. But as we get closer to that episode, we will definitely be dropping some hints.
Oh, yeah. There will be signs.
And I have one more tiny thing, just like you had with the spaceship. I had one tiny thing, which is we get an exit sign. And that exit sign is part of the Get Well Soon episode. And it says I-10 West and exit 93B.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, that doesn't exist.
Because you actually looked it up, didn't you?
I did look it up. I went on Google Maps and I went and got like a screenshot or a URL grab of where that would be. It's in Sierra Blanca, Texas, and it's not even in Sierra Blanca, Texas. It's just in Sierra Blanca, Texas' zip code. It is just plain out open desert just to the east and I guess southeast of El Paso. I always imagined that the show was a little bit further east than that in Texas. So is that an indication of where Highland actually is? My geography sense says no.
And it's entirely possible that they were just making that up.
Yeah, it could also be completely random. And I have to accept the fact that something may not be geographically accurate.
It's fiction, honey.
That's tough for me.
I know. And you are a big geography nerd. So one, I am not at all surprised that you actually looked that up to see if it was a real place. And two, your disappointment when you found out the truth. So I think it's just about time to wrap this one up. And so how about we go into some of our concluding thoughts on this season with overall impressions, things that we noticed throughout the whole season entirely, any final thoughts, stuff like that.
One of the things that does strike me quite a bit was Beavis sounding a lot more like an old man and not just as old Beavis.
Oh, really?
And saying things like, that's how they get you, or things like that.
Oh.
Or, doctors don't know everything. There were about 4 or 5 of those kinds of lines where it felt like Beavis was tapping into somebody he got to sit on a porch with as a youngster. And it's tough to accept that Beavis has literally any sort of positive male role model in his life.
I can't imagine who that is.
No, I can't either. And that's why when Beavis throws out those lines that sound like a my father, it kind of throws me for a loop a little bit. I'm like, where did he hear that? What male in his life was around long enough to make that kind of impression?
I wonder if the real question is, who did he watch on TV who talks like that?
Oh, yeah, true.
Is this a Leave It to Beaver kind of thing? I didn't really actually watch enough Leave It to Beaver to really know, but maybe it was something like that.
Sure.
And then also just my in real life theory is maybe it's just we're all getting a little older and Mike Judge is getting a little older and maybe he's talking more like an older man these days.
Hey, credit where it's due to the writers. It is great to send up those lines to call them out for the BS that they are, right? I'm not saying that it's not funny, because it is. It's sending those up for us to be able to laugh at not only Beavis saying them, but the idea of that being a credible idea is just sort of getting mocked in this moment, and in those moments, I should say. And I love it. I love that part of it, but it's weird that's coming from Beavis.
I kind of love it, though, at the same time.
Sure.
So one overall thing that I think I've noticed over this season, you tell me if I'm onto something or not, but it's my impression that there is a little more physical violence in this season over the other two seasons in the reboot, and then just really overall in the Beavis and Butt-head lore, minus the really early episodes that were loaded with it. But it seems like a big part of the physical comedy is people getting injured and hit and all sorts of stuff. Am I wrong about this?
I don't know if you're wrong about this or not. I mean, I didn't notice it particularly, but I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. What we really need is somebody to do a full series rewatch and make a count of all the violence that is portrayed on this show. That, by the way, is not my project.
Okay, I was just going to say, is that something in your spreadsheet?
No.
Oh, okay, somebody else is going to have to do that one.
Yeah, but I also think that, you think about an episode like Take a Bow, which was last season, there was a lot of physical violence in that arena too.
That's true.
I don't know if it's getting worse or maybe more spread out in kind of each episode and therefore maybe more noticeable.
Okay. And hey, to our audience, would love to know your thoughts on that question. Do you see what I'm seeing or am I full of it? Let me know either way. I kind of just wanted to throw that out there and get a gauge on that sort of thing. I don't know. It's Beavis and Butt-head. There is going to be physical violence. Duh.
Yes.
I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm not saying they should cut back on it necessarily. I just noticed it more this time around. I don't know.
Okay, fair.
Another thing that's up it's certainly with this season, but maybe in the reboot overall is impressions are up in video commentaries. Have you noticed this?
Yes.
And I would dare say the quality is a little better too. They're nailing their impressions pretty well.
Yes. And it's a welcome thing to see because, if they're making that kind of impression, either they love something or they hate something. There is no in between.
It's true, and it doesn't even really matter if they love or hate it, because let's be honest, a lot of these YouTube videos suck. It is the culture, though, and it is the thing to commentate on now, and so I am appreciating these impressions, honestly. That gets me through these horrendous videos.
And one more big idea that I think we both agree on. Has Van Driesen ever had a successful venture into nature? Ever.
Ever. What?
11 seasons, ever.
I've been joining you off and on while you're doing your rewatch, seeing some earlier Van Driesen stuff. This is such a thing for him that I think the dude needs to get the hell out of nature because it wants to kill him. Okay?
Yeah, he should invest in some VR goggles and invest in nature from the comfort of his couch. I think that's probably the safest thing for him.
If he has any will to live, that's what he should do.
Yes, good call.
And very last thing, how would you rate Mike Judge's Beavis and Butt-head Season 3 overall in terms of quality, entertainment value, memorability? 1, what are your criteria? 2, how do you rate it?
I think it rates very high. My criteria being good, memorable episodes, good writing, good quotability. This season has all those things. And I think it's a really solid continuation of the reboot. I didn't notice any dips in quality. In fact, it might be getting a little bit better.
I don't disagree. I would say overall, what a solid season. What a fun season. They gave us a little bit of everything. We got Old Holio, we saw Smart Beavis and Butt-head, and we saw a return of like Smart Daria, Smart McVicker, Smart Buzzcut, some familiar faces we hadn't seen in a little while. That was fun. Plus some really solid, entertaining episodes all around, mixed with some Tom Anderson's war stories. And yes, Van Driesen's YouTube bullshit, whatever. He's not going to make it. And I am so excited that we're going to get at least one more season of this show because it feels like a well-oiled machine. These folks know what they're doing. They're doing great work. And I am stoked that we're going to get more of it. Yes, please, and thank you.
Yeah. So next week, we are going to do a little bit different kind of an episode, which is we have challenged each other to a Beavis and Butt-head trivia contest.
That's right.
And we want you as listeners to be able to play along as well. So check for that next week, a little bit of Beavis and Butt-head trivia.
Hope you'll join us.